Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and I hope you enjoyed that little opening clip. That was rather humorous to myself. So we are here today in World of Warships in the Tier 7 Japanese battleship, the Nagato, here in standard battle on the map Two Brothers. So today I'm going to be featuring this ship, and tomorrow I'll be doing an upgrading commander build of the Nagato. I'll highlight the modules, the upgrades, consumables, and especially her commander, as we have Yamamoto Isoroku as our commander, if you noticed. And so I'll talk about how you get to Yamamoto Isoroku, which you complete through a campaign collection. So from the World of Warships wiki on the Nagato, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the name of the ship right. I want to say Nagato or Nagato. I feel like Nagato sounds better. Nagato had long remained the most powerful warship in the Imperial Japanese Navy. She had good armor and carried 410mm main battery guns. In the 1930s, the ship was modernized to receive more powerful torpedo protection. In terms of player opinion and performance, the Nagato is the end stage for all the dreadnoughts of the Japanese battleship line. Her guns changed from the 14-inch guns you find of Kongo and Fuso, and to the 16.1-inch, the 410mm guns. She carries in 4 dual-mount turrets, and her handling is quite impressive for a dreadnought, enabling her to be a functional firing platform and ship of the line. So, for reference, like the Montana carries 406mm main battery guns. So 16-inch, where here on the Nagato they're slightly larger, but they're not that that's means that the Nagato guns are better, but just something for you to keep in mind. The number of guns she carries is a drastic reduction from the broadside of Fuso, and their slow reload and narrower spread means that aiming properly is critical to success. However, these guns make her a serious threat to the heavily armored American dreadnoughts that were tough nuts to crack with only 14-inch guns, and she can also easily maul higher tier battleships that are not too careful around her. She also has a very surprising quick-firing secondary battery with a respectable firing range, with a commander equipped with the level 4 commander skill main fire control for secondary armament, which requires active targeting to use. That greatly reduces their dispersion. They can be lethal to destroyers that linger around her for too long, so maybe we'll take a look at that tomorrow in an upgrading commander build. Her health pool is generous for a tier 7 battleship, and she can soak up a lot of punishment, though her torpedo protection is not that great. However, her armor, while the strongest among mid-tier Japanese battleships, is still weaker than her tier 7 counterparts of other nations, and her citadel is quite vulnerable. Sailing into close-range duels, while they can be fun, is not advised. Though her stock hull's anti-aircraft suite is nothing to write home about, upgrading the Hull B gives her a respectable AA suite and slightly enhanced armor protection. Even upgraded though, Nagato's AA is still weaker than many other battleships at her tier, meaning that enemy aircraft will likely focus their attention on her. This, coupled with her sheer length being 100 feet longer than the tier 7 American battleship, the Colorado, and substandard torpedo protection, makes Nagato an especially tempting target for torpedo bombers. When in game with a higher tier CV, Nagato captains are advised to group up with other ships with strong AA, because we all know this works in World of Warships. The key to doing well in Nagato is to rely on her accuracy to make her smart target selections for firing maximum effect. Fire targets of opportunity from afar, but especially nail incautious battleships with her powerful guns. Avoid getting into close-range fights with other battleships unless you hold a significant health pool advantage. She can absorb damage for a limited time only. Nagato can be a very rewarding battleship to have a 3-battleship division with, as she can provide long-range fire support for the divisioning battleships. Like I said, if you want to read more on this article, I'm going to put it in the description below. I'm not going to go into all the pros and cons, so I kind of want to focus more on the commentary, as we just nailed the Tier 9 French cruiser, the Saint Louis. I was thinking about firing on the FDG, but I thought, well, no, it's better, even though I only have 4 guns to fire, the St. Louis, that we should see if we can get lucky, even though the St. Louis is quite a fast battleship and somewhat decent maneuverability. What did I say? Battleship cruiser. To see if we could finish the St. Louis off, because I didn't want to go dark and then to start slinging HE at us from very long range. and so we were able to pick up that kill. Now, we don't have, one of the things I have to be mindful of in the Nagato is that you don't have anything like a hydroacoustic search. So if there's destroyers around with torpedoes, you have to be mindful of your positioning. On our flank, we only have the Tier 9 European destroyer, the Friesland. I get a little confused because now we also have the Groningen, which is an exact copy and paste. Just they moved that to the correct nation. The Friesland doesn't have torpedoes. It's just a really good HE spammer with quick reloading, but mainly battery, hydroacoustic search, and smoke that lasts for a good amount of time. So I'm a little conscious of pushing up right now, especially that we have this Hipper who's back in the distance and is throwing HE at us. And we just got set on fire again. So I made the pre-decision, hey, if the Hipper moves up and starts doing that, let's just reverse back behind this island, because you can see there's a very tall midsection of the island there that the Hipper is not going to be able to sling HE over onto me. So we're trying to clear up this flank just a little bit more before myself and my clanmate, hello everybody, pushes up. He's in the Prinz Heinrich. And it's nice in how this division works because he's more the brawler. He can push in, while I can support that long range to mid range support with these 410mm main battery guns. And so you can see that actually makes a really good combination. Even in that clip I showed you at the very beginning of the video, again, he was in Prinz Heinrich, I was in the Nagato. And as he pushed in, I was finishing off targets for him. I slapped that enemy Nagato, then I slapped enemy New York. So when you are top tier in the Nagato, you feel pretty OP, pretty strong when you're facing Tier 6s and Tier 5s. I was playing a battle last night where I was the only Tier 7 battleship, and then all the other battleships were Tier 6 and Tier 5. So we had a very good match last night in that as well. As I feel like I'm learning more and more how to work the Nagato. I still have the same opinion like on Fuso. I feel like these battleships so far play best mid-range to long-range, as the Hipper kind of reaccelerates there. And when I say mid-range, I'm thinking 12 kilometers and back from there, where it's a little harder to work the more close-range encounters. I am interested about the secondary battery. You're going to actually see us utilize the secondary battery towards the end of this video. So we're moving up. We've applied the correct pressure and finishing up the St. Louis and the FDG. So now the goal is we just give the Hipper a car wash, just salt all over the ship now. We're pushing in, and we need to see if we can help take a little bit of pressure off our other flank, though the enemy team seems to be pretty preoccupied in trying to go up the center. We haven't seen the Friesland for a while, so I was wondering where he went, but you can see he's in their cap, and then he's going to show up later in the center of the channel. So basically they've kind of given up this flank rather easily. You can see some of the enemy team has decided, hey, we can't let this happen. So we can see they're bringing their Alaska and the Lion moving through their cap in response to our team being able to put pressure on this flank. So the Hipper here is going to try to get off his other 7 torpedoes. So just knowing that that's going to happen, we go ahead and line up, and we're going to slap his broadside. Oh, he didn't have much health left, so another kill secure there per se. And then we're going to switch focus to the Alaska and the Lion. And this works really well because when Hello Everybody is pushing in, he seems to be more the threat, right? He's closer, he's got the secondaries, he's got these torpedoes, while we're just chilling out here in the back. Let's see, how far away are we roughly? Yeah, just under 12 kilometers away. Oh, sorry, not 12, 14 kilometers away. And we can just try to work on keep catching them off guard. So we have lost our destroyer. The Alaska was able to take him out. So now it's just Hello Everybody and myself. So it's important that we work together as a team here in being able to take off out these guys. So the Alaska is showing a very healthy amount of broadside. So we're going to be able to see what we can do here. Starts turning out a little bit. 9,000, but if I would have led that a little bit more and raised it up a bit higher, maybe we could have done a little more damage. Hello Everybody dumped torps as he moved up towards the island, but the Lion just barely dodges them. So my goal is to try to force this Alaska to back off a little bit, since the Lion is a little bit more of the threat right now. So then I'm going to move up to engage the Lion. So take a little bit of chip damage there from the enemy Alaska. You can see that indeed that the FlimsyLunch did go in the center of the channel, as our team really has the focus of the map control. They did a really good job kiting away on the opposing flank, and just killing the enemy ships as they pushed in. So the enemy team has been kind of uncoordinated. They keep repositioning, so that has allowed us to be able to apply more pressure on this flank, especially since a lot of them are just hung up in the mid-channel. So we take a decent hit there from the Lion. You can see I'm moving into more engage and take some pressure off hello everybody, so then he can keep moving up a bit more. So he's just started to angle in, so I probably could have gone just for the superstructure hit, but I wanted to see what I could do. So we only got 1 penetration and 2 non-pins, so probably should have aimed a little bit more on the superstructure. Alaska has decided he's going to come back, so hello everybody was turning in to engage with the Lion, and he just gets slapped immensely by the Alaska. So we need to help him immediately, since Alaska has come back. Some players, well, not some, a lot of players I notice have this habit of just keep sailing around in circles versus just maybe you're playing with your speed, you're angled in, and you're sitting more in maybe one position, right? So Alaska's been kind of doing this, so we get a nice little hit there. I'm trying to get the rear turrets back around to finish off the Alaska before he goes behind the island. Unfortunately, we did lose hello everybody, but this could be our 4th kill if we get our rear main turrets on time. Should only take 1 hit to do it, and yes, we get 1 penetration. So we're getting a lot of 1 pin kills here in this game, and we still have a decent amount of health. We have a repair party about to come off cooldown. And I decide, what the heck, I want to move in and I want to ram the Lion. As we have, let's see, is that North Carolina with us, to secure the Kraken Unleashed. This is when the FlimsyLunch pops up. He decides, oh wait, maybe I should be helping my team on this flank. So if he was here helping his team the whole time, that would have been a lot more pressure on everybody as we pushed up, because we would be eating a lot more damage from him. I'm focusing my main battery on the FlimsyLunch. I'm not so concerned about the Lion, because I'm hoping to be able to just, the intention is try to kill FlimsyLunch with the guns and then ram the Lion. But our Neptune comes in, he's going to have a really good game and finishes off the FlimsyLunch. One of the things I also like to do when I'm about to ram a target is blowing the horn. So I don't want to bring the Lion down so low that the North Carolina is going to kill him, but he just got the North Carolina with fire. So I don't want to finish him off the main battery. I'm preferring to ram him, so I'm going to see if I can't do maybe a little bit more damage if I can pin his bow. I'm not sure if I can from this range or not, so I'm just going to try it, but it's just going to be ricochets. And this might be the best type of ram to do with Yamamoto Isoroku. And we take our ram flag, of course. Why would you not do that? And pick up the Die Hard, and we're also going to pick up Dreadnought from that little encounter. And having a repair party, you can see how much health is being restored just by having Yamamoto Isoroku, as there are several perks with him, which again I'll highlight in the upgrading commander build video tomorrow. So that is 5 kills. It was a really good time. We didn't do a ton of damage, but what damage we did and counted in the terms of finishing off low health targets. So over 500,000 credits, 14,868 experience, 7,254 free XP, over 86,500 damage, 5 destroyed, 1 set on fire, and you saw the 24 secondary targets we had hits there. So, and the cause flooding by ramming, that threw me off for a moment when I was trying to figure out how did that happen. And we're going to top the team with 1,784 base experience. So not bad for a Tier 7 battleship in the bottom of matchmaking and versus Tier 9 ships. Most of this match just ended up being the enemy team just misplaying, mispositioning, and not being able to be decisive in their decisions. So you can see the damage layout there. We did do a good chunk to the FDG, and of course the Lion with the ram and punishing the Alaska there at the end, grabbing the St. Louis before he ran, and finishing off the Hipper as he had low health. So And here's what it looks like with the premium accounts and some of the XP modifiers and commander XP modifiers that I had on Yamamoto Isoroku. So, very fun game. I'm really enjoying this line because one of the things I really like doing with this line thus far, like the Fuso and now the Nagato, is to play more that mid to long range, so 12 to 17 kilometer range. Sometimes I'm positioning myself where I'm, if I know the enemy team is going to be posing a very strong threat on the flank, I position where I can be a kiting away angle. So that means I'm angled back towards spawn. So if the enemy team does push in, I can immediately get out of there. But in this battle on that flank, it wasn't really that big of a deal. They weren't really throwing a lot of pressure on us, especially when the Friesland left and we finished off the St. Louis. So we just stayed battling and waited for our opportunity after we finished off the FDG to go ahead and push in and apply pressure on that flank, which we did successfully because we drew the Alaska and the Lion over to have to engage with us. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you have subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it as we continue our grind to the Tier 10 Japanese battleship, the Yamato. So, until next time, take care.